Welcome to Your Music Saved Us, where two friends blast ourselves into the past to relive and recontextualize the alternative Christian music we grew up listening to in the 1990s. My name is Clifton. Wish, profit, problems, amendments, their foreign committees, work, handle, quantity patient. 119199191911919191919191J. Did you know that word salad is strongly associated with dementia, bipolar mania, and schizophrenia?
Huh. Makes sense now. 1191 Clifton.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is gonna be an interesting one. As I was doing this, I was like, why is this on my list? I don't even know. But anyway,
we'll get into that.
We'll get into it.
Well, tell what are we listening to?
We're listening to Pspazz. I don't know. Spazz's 1995 debut, Mistletoe. Although I'm going to caveat that and say I think this actually came out in like January of 96. I had a lot of trouble deciphering this online, but the album says 95 on the back, so we're going to go with that.
All right. Why did we listen to this?
I don't know. For some reason, I had fond memories of this album, but now going back through it, I'm not sure why. Just to be really honest.
Cool. All right. Is it available to listen to places?
So it is on Spotify, but it looks like somebody just like the cover art is like somebody took a photo of the album, but like still in the plastic wrap or something.
Oh, okay.
Like it's just next time you go on Spotify and look at the cover art, just. Something's up with it. But anyway, somebody, probably one of the band members, stuck it on there a few years ago, so now we have it.
All right. Good deal. Are we getting preached at?
I mean, no. I mean, maybe about other stupid shit, but not really about God.
Yeah. God does show up a few times, not really in the songs that we're covering for some reason, but you know.
Yeah. I looked at that later and thought lyrically I could have made this more interesting, but I also wanted my eardrums to be grateful to me, so I picked the most pleasant sounding ones.
Fair. All right. Well, before we get into things, I want to remind everyone to visit patreon.com/YMSU to contribute and get extended episodes. And also, I figured, hey, let's take a moment and thank our patrons, because it has been a while since we have done that. We have Jerry. We have Jay's sister. It doesn't say Jay's sister. It is Jay's sister.
Oh, Kurt. That's nice.
Kurt, Jeremy, Veronica, XZ, Mixolydian Man, Michael Dixon, Aaron, Quillen, Robbie, Charlie, Chuck, Charles, Murphy Man, Noel, Julie, Brian, Chris, Made My Own, Lane, The Ghost of Larry Nichols, Gravity Head Zero, Chris Smith, and Brock Ditus.
Thanks, all of you. We do really appreciate it. I want to tell everyone I have some ideas for new patron episodes, so I just need to tell Clifton and we need to actually do them. But
me too. We just gotta find time to do them.
Yeah. Both of us have been incredibly busy. Apologies. That's why Commonwealth came out a week late.
I didn't even notice it was a week late until I went to post it, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, listen, y'all. But this one is actually recorded a little bit ahead of time. We think we're going to knock I'm saying this now, just like document it, put it out to the world. We think we're going to get the next one done ahead of time.
I've already been working on the next one.
So maybe we won't have any other missed weeks between now and the end of the year, but
you never know.
You know, exactly.
Who knows what's going to happen?
We're doing our best. All those other podcasts that are really prolific and they're not doing it full time, I don't know how they do it, but This is us.
All right. Well, Jay, tell us a little bit about Pspazz.
Pspazz was a band from I hope I'm saying this right. Kauai, Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I had to practice that. Made up of 4 guys. Lead singer and guitarist was Kyle Maligro, who was a professional. He's still, I don't know if he still is, but he was a professional international bodyboarding champion. That's kind of his claim to fame. Mason Bunsha played guitar, Zach Wilhelm on bass, and Robin Ryder on drums. Robin also played drums at the same time in the band Spooky Tuesday, who was also signed to Brainstorm, the label that this came out on.
They weren't also from Hawaii, were they?
They were.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
What is the Brainstorm connection to Hawaii?
I don't know, and I wish I could tell you more about Pspazz, but literally that is all I could find.
Wait, what?
Yes. I know. I looked up multiple things, and everybody was like, they were a band from Hawaii. The singer was a pro bodyboarder. And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't find anything either. Okay.
Yeah, if anybody out there knows more, would love to hear more, because I really thought I would be able to find a little bit more than this, and came up empty-handed.
All right.
So
kind of miss the days of there being mystery around bands, you know? Like you get on Spotify these days and they're like required to like upload an image of themselves with a face in the picture and stuff like that, and just really, really makes you miss those times when you didn't have a fucking clue what you were listening to.
Yep. I will, just to give you a little more background, I will say this was recorded and engineered by Gene Eugene at the Green Room. So we know they went to California to record this. I'm guessing they recorded this sometime in like the middle or fall of 95. So yeah, and this ended up coming out either right at the end of 95 or beginning of 1996.
All right. How did you find this, Jay?
Clifton, this is one of those cases where I think I just saw it and it looked cool.
It did. It did.
I mean, the cover art is really not bad, right? The way the logo is, it's got that cool looking star. This is a little bit before the time when like stars appeared on everything. I mean, this is early 96. And it just, I mean, you could see this in the Christian, remember, we're talking Christian bookstores, which was like, as we've said on other episodes, like our indie record stores, our high fidelity was, it's so lame, but it's true, was the Christian bookstore. And if you walked in and saw this on the shelf, I mean, you're kind of like, oh, I'm probably going to like this. And I think that's essentially how I picked it up. Was I don't even think I probably even listened to the demo or anything. It was just like, I think I'd probably like this.
Interesting. Okay. I remember the first time I saw it was not at Mardell, the regular Christian bookstore that we went to, but it was at Family Christian, which was like a small hole in the wall. Like there was a chain, but in my town, it was like a small hole in the wall. And this was like, I remember sitting on the ground. Like we were literally sitting on the ground because all the fun stuff was at the bottom, so you couldn't see it, because who wants to look at that, except for teenagers? Yeah. Teenagers can bend over. Fuck them, right? So I remember Stuart and I were sitting on the ground going through CDs, and we saw this and we thought it looked cool, but it was like full price for a CD, like $12.99 or something like that.
Yeah, you're not going to risk it.
Buy that. Nope.
Yeah.
And I don't
Do you remember they also used to have, because this was distributed by that company Diamante, and I think they used to have like these little stickers you collected, and if you got like 4 or 5 of them, you could get an album free.
Yes, I remember that.
And so this, I don't know if this was one of those, but like I definitely obtained albums that way too.
Really?
So
I was definitely too scatterbrained. I could not keep track of something.
Oh yeah, no. So anyway, yeah, I think the only reason I picked this up is it looked cool. Yeah,
fair, because it did look cool.
It did.
Okay. What do you remember listening to it? What'd you think?
Yeah, and I remember. My favorite song was the hidden track that we're going to talk about later, which, in hindsight, I think says something about the band if you think their best song is the hidden track. But
it's not great.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. And otherwise, I think I do remember liking portions of it, but also this being a bit scattered stylistically. And now going back to it, I'm like, wow. Yeah. This is all over the place.
The only thing I could find for them online literally said punk/ska/weird.
Yeah. I'm going to hold my thoughts. We'll get into it more. I have some in my notes, but yes.
All right. Any other memories of it? Fond memories of it? Anything? Listening to it with people? Okay.
I put that hidden track song on a couple of mixtapes. I remember that.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, let's come to today then. We're going back. Have you? I assume you probably haven't listened to it over the years.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. We're coming back to it. You're going to listen to it for this episode. What are you expecting before you push play?
I mean, I was hoping I would like it more, or maybe I just forgotten there's some really good parts. But
yeah,
unfortunately, I think I was more disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's not very good.
Okay, I will say it's better than I expected it to be, I guess.
Oh wow, okay.
Look, it's not
low
Pocket Change.
Expectations.
Well, I mean, we've done Pocket Change.
Yeah,
you know,
poor Pocket Change. I think it's still the worst album we've done the entire time, and we've done some real shit CCM ones too. But like, yeah, that's definitely the worst.
Which is bad because like those guys actually could write a kind of catchy song, I think, you know. Whereas these guys are really struggling with catchy songs, but they can write songs, I guess.
Yeah, like I don't think musicianship is terrible on this stuff. I agree. It's just. This should have been like a demo, right?
Yes.
This should have been like work out your kinks, figure out which one of these sounds you want to be, then make album 2.
Which is a great point. Do you remember seeing this advertised at all?
Not really. I mean, I'm guessing there might have been an ad in like HM or 7 Ball or something, but like, no. And I do know that they went on tour a little bit because... I'll save it for later, but there is they toured with MXPX at least for a little bit.
Oh, really?
In the States, yeah. Or in the continental states.
Right.
So they put a little effort behind this, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I was asking that because I was wondering how it was aimed at people. As like, what did you think you were getting yourselves into kind of thing, you know? Because it came out in 95. Which is right on the heels of obviously the pop punk explosion.
Yep.
And I remember having the feeling that this was a punk band.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about that as we go. And there's punk elements to this. Although I would say the punk elements that it has are more like 80s punk, you know, kind of like clashy, kind of rock and roll type punk.
Yeah, I think only one of the songs we're going to talk about today would really kind of be punk.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looked punk. A name like Pspazz, you would think is punk, but I'm not sure what this is.
All right. Well, let's come back to that at the end and wonder to ourselves why, what Brainstorm International was thinking and who they thought they were appealing to with this.
Okay.
But let's listen to let's go through the songs first, and then we'll come back to that.
We're going to start with song number 1, Mistletoe, which, by the way, is spelt like the word missile, like missile you shoot and blow something up with, and then toe, like your toe on your foot. Which is funny, but this is the type of humor that is all throughout the album that does get a bit old now listening to it as a 44-year-old adult. But when you're like 15, it's a little more entertaining.
True.
This kind of just comes straight in, so I'm wondering if we should just start off and play a bit.
All right, let's do it.
Jimmy quickly fix a glass face, enemies and proud owners. A seal may make a bit on the ivory fronts that they got in the city. Yeah, 1191 991 learn to center to his profit problems of
So, you know, to start off with, if you noticed, you kind of got 2 guitars going on. One's kind of just fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
And the other's got some kind of, you would know this better than me, but some kind of like it almost is a little surfy.
Yeah, so it's a spring. Effect. It's a spring reverb with a little tremolo, which gives it that surfy effect. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think even just listening there, you're like, oh, this isn't really punk, right?
No, it feels rockabilly, surfy-y, but like punk-ish. Like punk influences.
And his voice could work for punk. It's kind of it's nasal. It's a little on the higher end. It's a little gravelly. Like it's a little rough. Not bad for this style of music. And I mean, it's fine. It's fun. The chorus on this song is actually better than some of the others. In fact, that's I think one of their weak points is a lot of times I find the catchier parts of the song are not the chorus.
Yeah.
Even this song, the 1191 and all that stuff, I think is a little catchier than the chorus itself. But this one's not terrible.
Let's listen to the chorus real fast.
Learn to center. To his prophet, prophets of immense. To his prophet, prophets of immense. To the therefore committees. To the therefore committees. Now work handle quantification. Now work handle quantification. Pspazz handle quantification. Mistletoe. She told us to add the figures of 118.
Did you notice they mentioned their band name in the chorus?
They've mentioned their band names several times throughout this album. Yes.
You'll notice it was kind of right, that clip you played at the beginning. It says, like, he says, learn to center, because the band cuts out. He says that, and then it goes into the chorus. Like, it's also occurred to me as listening to this, because I can't find any footage of them live, that perhaps they were a very good live band. I can see how this would be fun.
I could see this being fun live,
and silly live. And so that may also be another factor that we're unaware of, is like, they were goofy, they were really fun live. Seemed like it'd be fun to put out an album.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Gene Eugene's a great producer, but I don't know that he is necessarily the catches the punk live sound producer.
Fair. Yes.
Right? He's definitely the put him in a room with Jason from Starflyer and they'll make some weird, amazing poppy shit,
Yeah.
But maybe it's just the wrong producer for this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely could be.
But yeah, so what we've heard so far, the chorus is good, but not like catchy. But I do appreciate how, like, at the end of the chorus, it kind of goes straight back into the second verse, which kind of has a nice feel to it right here.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of works well. The arrangement there at least is, it's moving, it's fun, it's a little silly.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught it, but the drums are really busy in the chorus.
Oh, really? Let's listen to it again.
Just a lot of like cymbal work, and I don't know.
Yeah, he's everywhere on that, isn't he?
Yeah. That was one of the other things that stood out to me. I was listening to this. The verse is not so much on this one, but the chorus, I was like, man, he's doing a bunch.
Kind of reminds me of some of that early Poor Lou drumming.
That's exactly what I was going to say. As much as I love Jesse Sprinkle, sometimes it's like, okay, man, like, you just maybe like chill a little and get going on everything. But yeah, so it just repeats what we've heard so far. They get into kind of this weird little, like, I don't know, what would you call it, like jazzy type bridge on this song?
Yeah.
Which again, I think that's another problem. Again, like, I don't know what genre they're playing with this, but anyway, it's kind of its own thing. We can play it. It's short.
I wish it was in Kansas. Jewish prophets of immense.
I think this is why I think of it as a Clashy type thing, because the Clash is, with that new wave stuff, they're kind of bringing in a bunch of influences,
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. that wasn't fun enough, I guess.
Yeah. Again, could be really fun live. I can imagine people
Yeah.
dancing really stupidly and silly, like in silly ways with that. But a bit strange there, but it's fine. You know, they just launch right back into the chorus. Chorus repeats again and just closes out essentially the song. So this song is definitely not the worst on the album. I'll say that.
This is one of the better songs on the album.
Yeah, it kind of goes downhill a little bit, but
but yeah, even this song though, as fun as it is, and I don't know why, it does feel like it starts to drag, you know, and it's less than 3 minutes long, and it still feels like it starts to drag at some point, which is not great for a 3-minute song.
Yeah, and honestly, quite a few songs on this album, I remember looking and going like, oh man, we still got 2 minutes left or something, you know, as I was doing this. So I thought, we're pushing it a little too much on some of these. But, you know, again, I think this is a band that needed to kind of figure themselves out a little bit more before we put an album out into the world. But here we are.
You know, it's especially interesting with Gene Eugene producing that he didn't push them harder to do, like, because I think this song could have been fine if, for example, the third time they go into the chorus, they just make it a little different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to come up with a different chord, just like present it differently, you know?
Yeah.
Palm muting, like, I don't know, something.
In one of the other songs we'll talk about, I kind of was thinking the same thing. I remember the bridge. I was like, this bridge could have been so much better. So I was questioning some of the production choices too. Like, why did he try to intervene more, or is he just like, you guys do your thing, man? I don't know.
It's a good question. Yeah. All right. Anything else musically you want to say about this?
No, not musically.
All right. Well, I guess we should dig into these lyrics.
I just got to tell everyone, this is not going to be an episode where we have like a lot of deep philosophical meaning behind the lyrics.
But that's not our fault.
It's not. You will see in just a minute.
We can try. We can try to crack this code, but
yeah, we can.
Well, you want to read them real fast?
Sure. Joby quickly fixed the glass face and amazed the proud owners. Ciel may make a bid on the ivory forks that they got in the city. Yeah, 1191 111199 1999 191191. I don't know. I'm gonna get it off. But anyway, and then he says, learn to center. To wish profit problems amendments. Are they there foreign committees? I work handle.
Like literally, it's their foreign committees. And if you listen to the like, if I take out everything except for the vocals, that's what they say. I did type this up from the booklet, by the way, and it says "a thee there," and that is what they say out loud with their mouths as well. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. So "a thee there" foreign committees. I work handle quantity patient. Spaz handle quantity patient. Mistletoe. She told us to add the figured 11881881. Keep the fingers low as they reach 99 or 94 joggers. Yeah, 11919919999191. Anyway, you get it. I think I'm a leper. My goal is to sell 94 pizzas, 99 tacos, and 9 cases of cola. I wish I was in Kansas. Now, to be fair, in the lyric books, they do say the lyrics are from typing class, essentially. And so I think it was kind of just like shit they had to type. And I was thinking about it later. If you have to type Clifton just 19919, it's kind of I'm using my left pinky for the 1. I don't know what finger I'm supposed to use for the 9. Probably your like right ring finger.
Probably so.
So I'm guessing it's just practice with that. And honestly, the like 119199, that part I think is the catchiest part of the song, actually.
Yes. So, but also like the second time I listened to the song, I was done with it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, fair. I mean, after listening to this album once, I was like, oh God, I have to go back through this for the podcast. But, you know, it's fine.
It is. I even looked up some of these things, like to figure out if I could find, like, because it says it's from typing class, so I thought maybe I would find like a typing book or something like that. Nothing. Couldn't find anything. I don't know.
Maybe it was just straight from their teacher. Who knows?
Maybe so, yeah. Who knows?
Okay.
All right. Moving on. Next, we're going to do track 2, B.O. Juice, which, by the way, on the back of the CD, it just says B.O. But in the book, it says B.O. Juice.
Well, you know, those Christian bookstores. We can't have it say B.O.
Can't say
Juice.
The juice.
This starts more like a straight, fairly kind of like mid-tempo rock song.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to tell you as we go, these lyrics are very easy to decipher and hear. There's not a ton to say about this. And you can tell it's called B.O. Juice, and yes, it's what you're thinking. And again, as a 15-year-old, I thought this was fun. But we just play a little bit. So, I mean, we could just probably talk about the lyrics as this goes. You could tell it was just the name of each of the band members saying that they've got BO because they didn't put deodorant on.
Mm-hmm. Which is, you know, as a teenager, it's great.
It's funny. And it's like, oh, this Christian CD, they're talking about BO. I realize how incredibly lame that seems today. But yes, back in the day, this was edgy.
Yeah, bodies were things that we were ashamed of.
It's such a great point, honestly. Yes. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of it that way, Clifton, but you're right. They were definitely something we were ashamed of. So this was like super sketchy.
Which is something that teenagers also already struggle with. And then you add Christianity on top of that. You know, it's just, that's rough.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I did notice when I was re-listening to this for this episode is kind of during the verses, you kind of have this, I thought a little bit of strange rhythm guitar in the background. If you just, I don't know, go back in the verse, I don't know, yeah, one of them is kind of like, it's a bit of an interesting rhythm. It's nothing like complicated, but it just was kind of, I don't know. Did you hear that? Da-da-dum-dum, da-da-dum-dum.
Chugging. Yeah, just that little chug there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, doing something a little different, but
no, and you know what? Like this part of this song, I think is kind of fun. Like even as a 40-year-old person, if you like ignore the childish lyrics, you know, it's fun.
Okay, all right, good. My question for you is, what is the chorus on this song?
Don't know.
I think it's just the.
Yeah, so the next part that we haven't played yet, they just go, but it's funny because when I was first writing out, like I always just map out the song, like where it is, like what the time signature is. And I originally marked that down as the pre-chorus. Mm-hmm. Then I got to the other song, I was like, oh shit.
Me too. I was like, this is the chorus.
Let's listen to it. Then we kind of go back into the instrumental of the intro there.
Mm-hmm. And they go through the verse again. Yeah, this is definitely one of those where, it's too long. Then you get to I guess it's the bridge, which speeds the song up, and it kind of stays fast through the end part. And this is, at least when I was younger, I thought was kind of the more fun part of the song. The lyrics also, again, are really stupid, but I liked how they sped it up. you know, that ending you just played, how it kind of, I don't know if you call it a fade out, but it just
Mhm.
like, just kind of that slow, like, we still playing distortion for a while till it finally ends.
Yeah.
That's another common feature on this album. I feel like almost every song has about 20 extra seconds added to the end of it with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, the when it speeds up there at the end, it is definitely fun. The vocals, funny enough, almost just sound like they sped the vocals up. So just let me solo the vocals here.
You better buy some deodorant, cause you smell like a skunk.
Maybe it's just they have a delay on that. That's weird. I don't know why they would do that.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. This song, as a youth group kid, I just remember thinking this was really fun and edgy. A song about BO. Yeah, now I hear it and I'm just like, okay.
It's fun the first time through, I think.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, we've already done some of the lyrics. Should I read the rest of them here? Okay. I'm trying to figure. So it's weird because the way I've got them written here is the way they're typed up in the booklet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's broken up in the booklet wrong, and also I'm pretty sure some of these lyrics are never in the song.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a couple parts I don't think actually they say.
Yeah. So the next part in the booklet is, "You are smelly. You're a skunk. Just a punk. You better buy some deodorant because you smell like a skunk. Go to Kmart and buy the cell. You better put deodorant on because your hair really stinks. You better put deodorant on. Yeah, just do it." So the "you are really smelly, you're a skunk, just a punk," I don't think that's ever in the song.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is fine, but goddamn, like, could they not have spent 20 more seconds writing the lyrics and like come up with a rhyme or something?
Yeah. On this album as a whole, the lyrics and a lot of times what they chose to be the chorus, which is reflected in the lyrics, are definitely the weakest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be fine if the music was really, really good.
Yeah.
But the music is good enough. If you put really good lyrics over it, this could be a good album, I think. I mean, like, it could be a memorable album that we would look fondly back on, maybe.
Okay, fair.
Because it's good enough musically. But the music is good enough, and then the lyrics are phoned in. Like, just not even trying. We're on our second song, and these are going to be the two best songs that we cover. And one of them is nonsense from a typing class, and the other one is
About BO juice.
about BO, which is fine and even works, but then it doesn't even have a rhyme in it. Like, put one rhyme in it or something. Like say something with it. Not, yeah, just do it. Like, that's how the song, yeah, just do it.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah. Anything else you have to say?
No.
Now we're going to skip to track 4, Every Day.
And I will say we're skipping track 3, Mask, which I almost did because it's lyrically, it's a little more interesting talking about some
not a
woman
bad
wearing too much
song
makeup, but
yeah, it's like 1/3 of that song is also doable, you know?
yeah. If
this had been short songs for short people, like if every song had been 1 minute and 20 seconds long, it might have worked.
Yeah, fair. I think they've stretched all of these songs out too much, but
yeah, I agree.
Anyway, we're going to go to song number 4. I don't want to give too much away before we play it, but this song has let's just say a different sound than the first two.
And you got to wait on it.
You do have to wait for a second. The beginning, I'm not giving anything away with this, but it sounds a little bit like almost like a lead into like a classic rock song or something. Mm-hmm. And then it changes.
Freebird! Barracuda!
Yeah. So we get a ska sounding song. And it occurred to me, Clifton,
Mm-hmm.
if I truly did hear this at the beginning of 96,
This is early.
maybe heard this prior to even hearing like supertones and stuff. And for, again, Christian bookstore kid like me, like you, this might have been some of the first ska I heard.
Oh, yeah. Summer of 96 was Supertones, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know if I had words to describe this song when I first heard it.
It's a good point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were no horns, so
No
maybe
horns.
I didn't even think about it being ska.
All right, we had the chorus there. Which was that horns behind that? I'm gonna turn the vocals off and
I
play it
don't
again.
think so, but yeah, let's see.
It could be a horn. I don't know. If it is, it's just one. It's just like a trombone.
Okay.
Did you look in the book at all? For
I was just looking now. I don't see any credits for other instruments or anything, so.
Nope. Yeah. It sounds like a trombone, but it could easily, I don't know, it might just be like a fuzzed out guitar or something like that that's like really smoothed over in production. So that's kind of all the new parts of the song.
Yeah. We go right back to ska, and the lyrics, instead of being, every day and every time, now we go to every night and every morn.
Every morn.
Uh-huh.
I want to say one more thing about the music before we go on, if you got anything else to say about it. But I'm going to play the second verse to say it, okay?
Yeah.
Every night, I turn on the lights. Every night, mosquito bites. And every morn, I feel so warm. And every morn, here comes the storm.
I know we're early in third wave ska to the masses, but you don't need the hi-hat and the guitar both doing the upbeat thing. One of them is enough.
Fair.
That's a little too much right there.
Well, the drums on this album are pretty busy. I actually think the drummer is good.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he might be the best musician out of the four of them on this.
He's trying to drag him along.
But it is, he plays a lot.
He does. Yeah.
We do get a pick it up right before the bridge here.
So it's almost like a pick it up from someone who's never heard it before. They're like, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah. Also another example of a song that was probably pretty fun live.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But Jesus Christ, this is boring.
I know.
And then, shall we do the lyrics?
Yeah, let's dive into these deep lyrics. I mean, I do think we kind of get a God mention here. So
we do. Which one of us is going to read this masterpiece this time?
I would love to read them, Clifton.
Do it.
Every day is a new day. Every day I'm going His way. Every time I stand on the line. Every time I'm spending a dime. And here's your chorus. I'm not a natural guy. I'm really different sometimes. Sly, cry, fly. Here's your other verse. Every night I turn on the light. Every night, mosquito bite. Every morn I feel so warm. Every morn, here comes the storm. And that's literally all the lyrics
Mm-hmm.
of that song.
Mm-hmm.
Deep, right?
Like, it's just so fucking lazy.
Yeah, it literally was like written, you're right, within like 1 minute.
Yeah.
What rhymes with that? What rhymes
Okay.
with sly? Cry, fly? Okay, cool. We'll put them all in.
Like, okay, my high school band, which was not good. Both my friend Justin and I would write the lyrics, and typically the lyrics came about because we would both, like, you know, because we were very deeply feeling teenagers, we would write poetry during the day while we were bored at school.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally just had notebooks worth of stuff, and Justin was a singer, and he would usually go through the notebooks while we were playing and look for something that kind of fit with the jam that we were doing, you know. But then we would sit down and finish crafting them to the song.
Yeah.
And I feel like 17-year-old Clifton and Justin put in 4 bajillion times more work than these guys. You know,
I think that is true. And yet they had a record deal and an album out.
Yeah. Every night I turn on the light. Every night, mosquito bite. That was finger snapping for those who couldn't tell. What do you think the storm is? Every morn I feel so warm. Every morn here comes the storm.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many metaphors in this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we could just go so many ways with this.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like, oh, I don't want to go to school today, or it could just be jerking off. Yeah, either one of those
Mm-hmm.
could be.
I mean, I think the fact. So I'm going to put the lyrics aside for a second. This is like their ska song, right?
Yes.
And this kind of, to me, highlights one of my problems with the album is like they just do not know who they want to be as a band. And there is nothing wrong with drawing from several styles.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's cool when bands do that, but it's better when it's incorporated as a whole, not like one song, one style, and another style.
But even that's fine. Look. The Value Pack had 1 or 2 ska songs on like both their albums. Noggin Toboggan had a ska song on there on that first album, and it worked because it wasn't bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely that stereotype, I guess I'll say, of bands being in the Christian market because they're not good enough to make it in the regular market. And I think, to be honest, on this podcast, while we are quite harsh sometimes, but I think we've also shown that that's untrue.
It is.
Like, we've covered some really quality stuff.
We have.
However, I think that's true here.
And you know what's heartbreaking about that being true here? Is that it's fucking associated with Gene Eugene.
I know.
It's his fucking label, mostly. And he's produced it. I just don't understand.
So I'm completely spitballing here, and hopefully somebody out there knows the truth, but my guess is that their connection to Spooky Tuesday somehow got them signed to Brainstorm.
Yeah.
I don't know if the drummer was like, I'm in this other band you should check out, and something happened, but somehow they were able to get this album through as well. Yeah. It's like, it's not, because both these bands are good, but Rocket from the Crypt got signed to, I think, Interscope or something, major label early 90s, and somehow John, the singer, convinced them to sign his other band, Drive Like Jehu. So Drive Like Jehu ends up putting out an album on a major label, and it's just like, if you've never heard Drive Like Jehu, go listen to it, because you'll be like, it's just never, it's good for what it is. It's just not going to be popular. And I don't know if this was just their attempt at that, and they were like, okay, Spooky Tuesday, that'll be good. This is just weird, but they wanted us to sign it. We had a little extra time in the studio, so why not? I don't know, but here we are.
If all the other members of the band were also members of Spooky Tuesday, and they were like, we got an extra day in the studio, we got done recording early, I would buy that, Jay.
Fair.
But what the hell is going on here? All right, let's move on to track 7, Mare.
Yeah, and again, we've spared you guys. We've even skipped the song Spaz about themselves. But anyway, Mare.
And French Toast?
I will actually say, I think this song is kind of fun. Of all of them, this might be the one I find the most fun.
100%.
And I could see this one, again, being fun live. But this one, we'll jump into it. But it's kind of it just goes straight in full band. And it kind of has this little build-up that then they go into a first verse style, and then they go back to the build-up again. You'll see, it's like alternating back and forth before they finally kind of get going into the song.
Which, by the way, when I was initially listening to this song, I was like, no, you don't get 3 of these. You get 2. You do the fun one, and then you go into the song on the second one. Why are you doing 3 of these? Sorry.
To stretch it out.
Okay. Fair.
So, yeah, I agree with you the beginning part. I don't really like that build up and then back to it and then, back and forth. But the kind of the fast beat with the drums and guitar, I don't normally love that sound, but it kind of works for this.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Also, I don't know if you caught it, around 26 seconds in, there's a pretty nice little bass line. So, go Zach. First time we've really heard the bass, I think, do anything kind of interesting on this album, but it sounds kind of nice. Yeah, see?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so, it's all right. I like, you played part of the core, like, the verse where it's the back and forth. So he's like, I want to be your mayor. I want to be, and then you've got those background vocals that usually in some goofy, fun way are saying a different mayor's name. I thought that was really fun. I want to be Yukamura. Like, just that, like, that's fun. And I kind of wish they would have done more of that on this album with other songs.
Yeah, I agree. That part's fun. How did you know it was a mayor? Did you just guess
I looked
that?
it up. No, I looked it up. I saw that you did
every
too.
Single name, yeah.
So you'll have to tell us in a second. I didn't do as much research as you. I just Googled the first one. I was like, okay, it's what I thought. So,
all right.
The chorus is not great. In fact, again, my favorite part of the song is that verse, that back and forth with the background vocals. But chorus is just about watching their commercials as mayors. So. This song, as you can tell, should be short.
Yes.
But it's not.
It's not. It's 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
Yeah, and this is another one while I'm listening, I'm like, how is this going to... And then, because at about a minute and a half, the song basically ends, and it moves into this weird kind of guitar solo bridge thing that sounds different from the rest of the song. And... then gets into this like surfy sounding. Anyway, it just kind of completely changes in Morse, which is, I'll be honest, it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, that's the best part of the song. Not the solo part, but the surfy part.
Yeah. I mean, this song is really, it's not bad.
Did you watch my Cornball commercial?
It should have ended there.
Should have ended there.
Are you going to vote for me? Which, by the way, is not actually in the lyrics. Something vote for me today. That should have been the ending.
Yeah. Will you vote for me today? Boom. In the song.
Boom. Yeah, you're right. But it goes back.
For another 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Yeah. So, fun song. Too long.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, that's a lot of what we could say about most of this album.
Yeah. And if this song had been 2.5 minutes long, maybe a little bit shorter, because I think you could have gotten rid of the guitar solo, just go straight from the "Did you watch my cornball commercial" weird thing into the surfy part, you know?
Yeah.
And it would have been fun. It would have been a funny little, like, jab at local politicians, you know?
Right.
Especially local politicians in the 90s, where it was just like, there was that weird time where where everyone had a camcorder all of a sudden. You can make your own local cornball commercials, you know? And then run them on TV. So I think that's hilarious. And then it goes on too long.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I'll go through the names that get yelled out here.
Enlighten us, Clifton.
Yes. So the lyrics are, I want to be a mayor. I want to be, and then someone goes, Yukimura. Okay. Joanne Yukimura was mayor of Kauai County from 1988 to 1994. And then it says, I want to be a mayor. I want to be Hanabata. And I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Couldn't find that. Here's what I have for Hanabata. It means nose butter, which is boogers. It's Japanese. And it's not like one thing on the internet told me that. There's also like on Urban Dictionary, it says Hanabata means nose butter. Several places on it's boogers, and there's also Hanabata Days, which is a graphic novel about like a family who's kind of loses each other and then finds each other again. But then Hanabata Days is also referred to as like the days when our noses were runny.
Okay. I like it.
I don't know what that has to do with. I'll give my hypothesis in a second.
Okay.
And then we have the second verse is, I want to be a mayor. I want to be Tejada. And Tejada is a surname. It's a Spanish surname, but I couldn't find it associated with anyone in Hawaii. But then the last one is, I want to be Kusaka. And Kusaka is a Japanese surname, which is Marianne Winona Kusaka, who was mayor of Kauai from 1994 to 2002.
There you go.
Yeah. So maybe those other two names, maybe those are other people who also rans, you know? Because we don't remember losers, remember?
Fair.
I don't know, but I couldn't find anything for those other two names. That's all I got.
That's enough.
All right, shall we move on to track 10, Roller Coaster?
Oh, yeah. I remember when I played this, when the guitar tone comes in right at the beginning, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I'm looking for, this sound. Mm-hmm. And you will see again, dear listener, that this is another style change. Not drastically different, but it is another different one on this album. Not bad. I prefer this style over some of the ones we're skipping, like that weird ass like funk song or whatever that I'm not making you listen to. But again, you will see. So maybe we should just play the beginning. So, this is their punk song.
Yes. I would say of all the songs we've listened to so far, this is the most song.
Okay.
It's like, it's not one that's based on a gimmick.
Fair. I'll give you that. Lyrically, I think they also tried slightly harder on this.
Mm-hmm. This is a song about something.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we continue on with the chorus?
Yeah, and you might as well play the chorus, and then when you play the first part of the second verse, those first couple lines, listen to how hard he is trying to get those syllables, words to fit and rhyme. It is a struggle, and you will notice.
Roller coaster, feeling as you die. Roller coaster, you might as well die. Roller coaster, feeling as you die. Roller coaster, you might as well die. Every day for you is emotional. You can't live up to your full potential. You gotta get off the one-track mind and live on that stable line. Roller coaster, feeling as you drive.
Every day for you is emotional. You got to live up to your own full potential. Yeah, he was really like, yeah. Which is odd because we've talked about it other times when he like really phones it in. And here it was like clear he really wanted to use those lyrics and it was tough to make it fit.
And also, it doesn't have to be, because you can just say live up to your potential, and it doesn't have to be the word full potential. Like, it has the same meaning. Yeah.
I know. So the chorus is that roller coaster thing, gets repeated. This is the one where, like, I'm questioning their bridge choices pretty hard here. If you get to around, I put it around like 155, I guess this is a bridge. But I don't understand why they didn't stick like even just a like really easy guitar solo in here or something better, because it's just, well, play it, you'll see. Like it's got this like more like metal sounding kind of like.
I think it's just like a hardcore punk type thing.
Yeah, but it didn't really fit with the rest of the song. I feel like the rest of the song's a little more melodic than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could have put anything else there.
Well, this is their punk song. They said to fit all the punk genres, subgenres into the one punk song.
Okay, I see what you mean. Fair.
So
fair,
maybe
fair.
I was wrong. This song is also a gimmick.
Yeah. Do we need to play any more of it?
I don't think so. It doesn't change, which is the problem with their songs.
Should I read the lyrics?
Yeah, let's do it.
And this one, by the way, does have a Christian meaning in it. I remember when you were so ecstatic, you did everything from a good heart. The next day you were really bummed. That's when it all fell apart. Here's your chorus. Roller coaster, feeling as you drive. Roller coaster, you might as well die. Every day for you is an emotion. You can't live up to your full potential. You got to get off your one-track mind and live on that stable line. My good friend's feelings aren't good. To this day, I thought you understood. Feelings come and feelings go. By his word is the way to go. Thank God we got that last line in there.
Yes. I don't know. I think it's okay. You know, I think of all their songs, this one says something.
Yeah, and it's kind of punk. Like, honestly, if they'd just gone this way more and done more punk songs like this and become a punk band, like, it would have been better than Pocket Change.
Although this does have some weird familiarity with Pocket Change.
Yes.
Because they're just trying to play so fast, you know? Mm-hmm. Which is fun, but it's not the end-all, be-all of punk, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good song. I think it kind of has a good meaning to it, you know? Like, you can't just live everything as an emotion, especially if this person clearly has depression, you know, or maybe bipolar. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, all we know is that they were really bummed.
Well, I remember when you were so ecstatic, the next day you were really bummed. Mania to depression.
Maybe they just got a bad grade on a test where their boyfriend broke up with them.
Or it could be bipolar disorder. One of the
Okay.
All
right.
Because they're living as if the emotion that they're feeling is their whole life, you know?
Okay. You are you making this song deeper than I think it is, but okay.
I'm trying here, man.
All right.
But this is the one song that we have to dig into. It's the only one that has lyrics that mean anything other than I
Well,
want to be a mayor.
I don't know, Clifton. I can't
It's
wait to
true.
talk about my last pick that we're about to do.
All right, let's do it. Last fucking song. Secret
Now-
track.
There are 2 secret tracks on this. I'm playing you the first one. And I'll be honest, this was my favorite song back in the day by them, and I think it still is. I think it's by far, and Clifton's like covering his head. I just think it's the most melodic
It is.
of them, and I think that's why I like it the most. It's got a nice sounding guitar tone. The guitar has it's got melody in it too. Like, I just think it's nice. I have some major problems with the lyrics, but we'll talk about that in a second. But sonically, I like this one. I have a feeling I can tell you though why I think it's a hidden track, but we should just play the beginning of it.
The magic dragon lives by the sea. And if you don't teach her food, well, he's gonna raid me. And if you don't teach her food, well, you're gonna get sick. And if you get sick, well, I'm gonna grab a big stick. Whoa.
I know,
Very
I know.
secret song.
but it's melodic. I get that
But
they're
I think
ripping
it's melodic
off
because it's just Puff the Magic Dragon. They didn't
Fair.
write it.
Fair. But it's got a nice tone, guitar tone. It's got
It
a
is.
nice
No,
beat.
here's the thing. It works. It is. If we were just taking all the songs on the album, this is the most feels like a punk song, tastes like a punk song, sounds like a punk song, all of the things, you know?
Mhm.
And it's good. It's
Which I
melodic, it's
think
fun.
the reason I liked it is because that's what I wanted when I bought this album, looking
Yeah.
at it. And I think this is
Yeah.
the only one that kind of delivered that.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to. This is a good time to point this out. You're right. They rip off Puff the Magic Dragon. There's an earlier song on this album called "A Freak Who Loves God," where they also rip off a little bit of Radiohead because he says,
Mhm.
"I'm a freak, I'm a weirdo, but I love God above." So yeah, we get. They're not super original, and you can see that they struggle with lyrics anyway. So maybe it is just better that they're ripping off others. I don't know. Also, some of you listening may have heard what I think is a very questionable lyric. But we'll talk about that more when we do all the lyrics in a second. But yeah, Clifton, we might as well play the chorus, which is the and
We
then
want to play that part? Okay,
let's play the rest of the song. It's a jam.
Good multi-part harmony. Like it works. And because it's them, they have to do it again. You know.
Nietzsche's dead, yeah, Nietzsche's dead, 'cause God ain't dead. Nietzsche's dead, and he's never coming back. I worship the one true God, and I worship the one true God. I worship the one true God, and he sent his son Jesus Christ.
It just does that for another 30 seconds, by the way.
Yeah, no, that part sucks. But I even kind of think, if you couldn't tell, he's saying Nietzsche's dead. I even kind of like that with, like, I don't know if it's the same. I think it's a different member of the
vocalist.
band singing that part, but I thought
And it's the
that
first
was
time I
fun.
felt like someone in the band felt what they were saying.
Fair.
Like they're wrong about what Nietzsche's saying, but
Oh, they're completely wrong. Yeah.
I felt like they felt this and wanted to say it. Also, to pick nits here, why didn't he say, and Jesus Christ, his son? Because that would at least flow better than, and his son, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. It almost sounded like, and he sent his son, Jesus Christ, but I wasn't sure. Yeah. But you're right. He sings, I worship the one true God. And I mean, let's just get into these lyrics for a second because, yeah, Nietzsche does say God is dead, but Christians have always been so bad about this of like not at all taking any time to examine what is meant by that and just being like, God's not dead. I mean, they have those fucking movies and stuff, right? Called God's Not Dead and all this.
Yeah.
And like, I am not a philosopher or someone who is, but my basic understanding is this is like God could no longer be used for like the moral compass of society kind of thing.
And it was an observation. It wasn't like,
yes,
he wasn't declaring, he wasn't like, yeah, fuck God, he's dead. That's not what Nietzsche was saying.
Right. It's like when Marx has said religion is the opiate of the masses. He's not actually making a judgment call on religion. He's just saying like that is what it gets used for.
Yes.
Like people take this shit way out of context and just find any reason to feel attacked with this.
Yeah. But I feel like this guy feels like that because listen to him say that Nietzsche is dead. Like he says it with,
he's feeling it. I know.
Like he feels it, but he also doesn't understand because he's just like, Nietzsche's dead.
Nietzsche's dead. Nietzsche's dead. Yeah, Nietzsche's dead. 'Cause God ain't dead. Nietzsche's dead.
Because God ain't dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to go back and talk about the earlier lyrics because I find it by far the most problematic on the entire album. And you don't have it written this way, so maybe I interpreted it wrong, but this is how I've always thought it went.
Okay.
Puff the Magic Dragon lives by the sea, and if you don't eat your food, well, it's either he or it's gonna... I'll be honest, Clifton, I always thought he said rape me.
Oh, I thought it said raid. Well, let's solo these lyrics.
Puff the magic dragon lives by the sea. And if you don't eat your food, well, he's gonna rape me. And if you don't...
It's so hard to tell. I went and listened to it multiple times.
Yeah, whatever that consonant is there, it's not pronounced.
But the problem is, honestly, when you read it, now again, their lyrics are pretty bad overall, but I think rape is the only thing that actually makes sense. He's gonna rain me? What the hell does that mean?
That's what Moises came up with, but I thought it was raid.
Oh, raid me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say, at the time, I thought this was funny, which is gross and weird. And I think like when you're privileged, shit like this can seem funny because you don't have any experience with it,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I remember, making jokes about rape, laughing about this. I can remember using the F word to refer to gay people and thinking that was totally fine. Like a lot of sick stuff. So maybe they didn't say rape here. Maybe I'm just reminded of my younger teenage self that would too freely joke about things like this. But yeah, I don't like how close it gets even to that.
Fair.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a catchy song. I still actually think it's sonically the best one. Do not like that lyric. The Nietzsche's Dead lyric is also really stupid.
But funny.
But funny, yes, in not the way they want it to be. And again, what does it say about a band if their best song is the hidden track? I don't know, but yeah.
Well, all right. Said we're going to come back to this. What do you think Brainstorm was thinking.
My guess is what I said earlier is somehow through the Spooky Tuesday connection, they got exposed to this, and either Pspazz was really good live, something that they thought, okay, this gives us like a more of a punk type band on our roster. And you're right, MXPX had just Teenage Politics would have come out that summer. And so maybe
but
it was
94 was the big blow up of Dookie, and I think that's when
I mean,
his first album came out also.
Right. So yeah, maybe it was just like, oh, this is getting popular. This band is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Was Mike not associated with Brainstorm?
I think in the fact that like they were all like friends, but I don't know if like business wise he was.
Because there's a little bit here that reminds me of some like Mike Naughty type things, like kind of straightforward rock and roll, kind of with the punky, surfy influences type stuff, you know?
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see, I was trying to see if he was even listed in the thank yous, but I don't see him.
Well, what we've already talked about the cover of it, that it caught both of our attentions, right? Like you look at this and you're like, oh, this is something I should probably buy.
Yep. Bingo.
Yeah. You want to describe the cover?
Yeah. So it's kind of the model of like an older style record in that it's got like this Brainstorm logo and hi-fi in the top right, and the kind of the top maybe like fifth of the space across the top is white, where the rest is a photo down below, and it has Pspazz kind of written in this cool looking font. I don't know what you would compare the font to, but with the font's blue and it's got a little red star out in front of it. And then the photo of the band is like done at some real weird angle, and it's like in like a blue tone, and it just it looks cool. It looks like you're definitely not gonna like seeing this in the Christian bookstore. You were not thinking this is going to be like contemporary, like Amy Grant or something your parents liked. Like you knew that this was probably something you were going to like.
Yeah, definitely so.
And the back cover, like when you flipped it over, was like, now looking at it, they look quite young, but it was like
they do.
Teenage kids, maybe, tween, but like,
well, there's one really young kid. I think the other ones are more teenage.
A little bit older. Somebody's throwing a doll in the air, and the rest look like they're dancing.
Do you recognize that doll? It's a chimpanzee monkey doll. You know, where it had the
Curious
striped
George?
shirt. No, but it's kind of like Curious George. But I some friends of mine have these dolls.
Okay, yeah, throwing some doll in the air, and everybody's kind of dancing below it, and then it's got like the lyrics written in cool font. Or not lyrics, sorry, the song titles.
Names,
yeah. So when you pick it up and flip it over, you're like, yeah, this still looks pretty cool.
It does.
And then inside, it's not terrible. It's got like another photo of the band with that kind of star thing, just done a little bit of different colors over them. And they look cool, I guess. And then it's mostly just like kind of a, like, what is it? A tri or quad fold. I can't tell fully. And then it's just one side is black and white with the lyrics. And the other side has some thank yous and the credits and another photo of that doll. It's just inverted. It's the same doll, just kind of flipped around. I thought it was a different photo, but
yeah, it's just turned backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. And the CD itself has the star on it, which is kind of cool looking. Again, not bad looking at all.
No.
Matt Wignall looks like who the guy from Javelina did the photography on this. It's got a cool vibe. It just, in my opinion, just didn't know who it wanted to be yet. And I'm not sure. I mean, I'm jumping ahead a little bit for the Where Are They Now. I don't think they ever put anything else out. I don't know how long they lasted as a band after this.
Well, Brainstorm collapsed in 95, right?
Or maybe 96. Yeah, not long after this. So that's true as well. But I saw no indication that they went on much beyond this. So
yeah. Well, Jay, where are these guys now?
So Kyle, the singer, he continued to be a professional bodyboarder for years after this, and it's unclear if he ever did music again. He now does what I think they call hydrofoiling, which is like where you have that like kind of rudder thing under the water and you float a little bit higher. And he sometimes does it with like a sail or like a parachute pulling him. But you can see lots of photos of this on his Instagram, which we'll link to. To go to our next person, the guitarist Mason. He now lives in Las Vegas and is a writer and a musician. He's written part of some horror anthologies and still seems to play music live. And we can link to both his blogspot and his Instagram.
Cool.
Zach lives outside of Roanoke, Virginia, and plays bass in a band called the Low Chariot. We also have a link to his Instagram. And then finally, Robin Ryder, who I actually, again, this is a drummer who I thought was probably the most talented musician on here. But as you can tell, I have a soft spot for drummers. He still plays as a touring drummer. And right now, he's playing with the band Twin Temple, which, Clifton, have you ever heard Twin Temple?
No.
They are like satanic doo-wop.
Oh, that group. Okay.
They're really, yeah, you actually
I do know that group then,
They're
yeah.
actually really kind of fun. But anyway, in his Instagram, and here, I will send the link to it right now so you can see this as we talk about it. He's got, if you scroll back, a poster of an old Pspazz show that they opened for MXPX in Iowa, which I'm guessing is either 95 or 96. It doesn't have the year. But Clifton, and knowing this is Iowa, can you guess who the opening band is? You will probably not be able to.
No.
Anybody have any guesses? It's a well-known band that are from Iowa.
Are we supposed to know Iowa bands?
You'll know this one, even though you've probably never listened to them.
Slipknot.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
So
MXPX, Slipknot, and Pspazz.
Yes. Pretty weird. Slipknot opened for Pspazz and MXPX back in Iowa in 95 or 96. It's hard to tell. One of those years. Yeah. So, fun fact.
All right, Jay, do you have an award for this album?
Yeah. You know, earlier I talked about the stereotype of Christian bands and how they can't make it in the general market. I'm going to call this award the True Stereotype Award because I think this band fits that bill, unfortunately. Not to say that they weren't talented in some ways, but I just don't see like a regular record label putting this out. No. I think this is something that would have only come out in the Christian market because this band did not know who they wanted to be.
Fair. But you could kind of say the same thing about like Red Hot Chili Peppers, right?
No.
All right. Well, Jay, what are we doing for the next episode?
We are doing Three Crosses, their second album from 1996. And what is it called?
Jefferson Street.
Jefferson Street. Yeah, so we did a lot of tooth and nail, and we didn't for this episode. We're not for the next one. You're probably wondering why we're doing Three Crosses, and there is a reason, and I'm kind of excited to hear what Clifton's going to tell me about this.
And not just because Clifton embarrassingly listened to them when he was a kid.
Yes, although it is embarrassing. But there is a better reason, and we're going to share it with you, but you'll have to listen to the episode.
I guess everyone can wait with bated breath.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Your Music Saved Us.
If you enjoyed your time with us, please leave us a review or share this episode. Visit patreon.com/YMSU to contribute and get extended episodes. Visit our website, yourmusicsavedus.com, to find out all the ways to listen. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Join our Facebook group or follow us to keep up with the latest or interact with us. And send complaints and disagreements to yourmusicsavedus@gmail.com.
The music in this episode is the work of Pspazz and is used with apologies, not permission. I would love to tell you where to buy things by them, but I cannot find anything other than this album on Spotify. But if anybody knows, check it out. But as I did mention, some of the guys still are doing things in other bands, so feel free to go in and check those out.
I'm a freak.
I'm a weirdo. But we love God above, right, Clifton?
That's why we're here.
Oh, yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.